This is Kevin from Real Boring Flips, and I just wanted to go over a couple of items, actually 3 items that sold, and talk a little bit about my setup. So the first item that sold was this vintage pair of Sony Walkman headphones. So these are kind of the old school foam over the ear. These are the TRH-1s. So you would have these with your kind of vintage Walkmans. I usually get these, and these are in great shape, no damage, foam is good, sound quality is great. I usually get stuff like this in rummage sales or estate sales where I find a box of cords. Typically these are all wrapped up together with other cords, so you have to spend some time digging through that. But I look for stuff like this. They always sell for about what I sold this pair for. I had them listed at $22.98 or $22.88, as you can see. I use the Price is Right pricing method and price my stuff at 88 cents. But these, I took an offer at $18. I had several offers, recent offers. I think the first one was about half, which is what you normally get. And the way I do my counter offers is I counter and that's my offer. So in this case, I countered at 18. The person then countered at 17.50. So I didn't respond to that offer, but someone else offered 15. I countered at 18. They purchased them. I don't do the back and forth stuff. I decide what my offer or my counter is if I'm not going to accept the offer, and that's it. I have been tempted on occasion to, like in this case, I was tempted to actually counter at 18.50 after I got the 17.50, but I'm also not trying to make enemies out of my potential customers. So this sold for 18. That'll go out today. So the next item was this pack of not all vintage. I think the hockey one was from the 70s, but the other ones are newer. But these were just random handheld games. Not in the best shape. The hockey, they all work, but the hockey is missing the back. It does work though. But these came from a garage sale that I went to a while ago. An older couple, and they mentioned that their son had passed away, and these were his items. So I got these. I got some vintage He-Man. I got some interesting Commodore computer stuff. It actually was I believe it went to a Atom computer that was like it was an add-on to an Atom computer, but then it created a Commodore 64 out of it. I forget exactly how that worked, but it was all kind of a mishmash. I assume he might have been a reseller because everything I bought looked just like what I have in my death pile. It's like, I don't know how to sell that. I'm not really interested in listing that. And in this case, I just bundled everything together, and I ended up taking an offer because it sat for a little while. Took an offer for, I believe, 17. It's been slow. I'm sure if you guys are resellers, it's just been slow for me. And so sometimes that's one of the reasons I do take offers, is it allows me the opportunity to get a sale where I might not have gotten a sale based on pricing. I needed a sale, so I took this offer at 17. I took the headphone offer at 18. Just gives me an opportunity to create sales when needed. If I was busy selling, I might not have taken the offer. The third item, and if you notice, two of these, I would say, like Sesame Street says, one of these things is not like the other. This item, which is a mobility scooter battery charger, this has a red background. And when I very first started selling on eBay, so it's been 25 years now, I sold very specific types of things, not like I do now. But I used this, it was actually my son's baby blanket. He's 27 now, getting ready to welcome his first baby. So I've had this blanket and this nice red background. So I would use this red blanket, put my items on it, take my photos, and it was just a method that I used to make my items stand out. And it was kind of interesting because I started seeing other sellers using a red background that were selling the same types of things I was selling. And in fact, at one point, a book publisher reached out to me to ask for approval to use photos of my listings in their book that was about selling on eBay. For various reasons, they didn't end up using my photos. eBay changed the look of their website after they had gotten my approval. So the photos weren't, they weren't using any of those photos. But it was kind of neat that someone thought that the kind of the process I was using to show my items and describe my items was worthy of putting in print to help other people selling. So I don't use the red background anymore because when Google started incorporating photo search, like with Google Lens and such, the red background, I guess, really messes with the ability for that photo search. So I'm gone to a white background like eBay wants, and I use a light box with a white background inside it. So I just didn't go back and redo all my photos for some of these older listings. For the most part, I think my listings are now almost all white background, but if you look through my store, you will find red background items. I should probably do like a special red background sale and see what happens. But in this case, this will be going out. I should mention that, you know, one of the reasons I even have this is I have sold a few of these before, but as I'm looking through those same boxes where I find headphones, I'm also looking through for any kind of oddball type of connector, AC adapters with weird connections. Not all of them are worth selling, worth buying to sell, but I do, it's kind of my litmus test for should I even pick that up and try to figure it out. In this case, I'll show you on the camera, but I even have a photo here, I think, as part of my listing, which is even better. You can see this is it's actually looks, I think it even is described as an XLR connection, these three prongs. And you can test those. This is, I think, 24 volts. Yeah, 24 volts DC. So it's easy to put a multimeter on there and just confirm it's putting out the correct voltage. But that's, you know, that's how I'll look at things and see, is that even worth looking, trying to find a comp. In this case, I probably, you know, I can't even say I even paid $1 for this, maybe $2 at the most. And this sold for $39.88. So that's going out today too. So those are the three items. I mean, it's been very slow. I try to average about 1.5 to 2.5 items a day. I've been about 1.5 for a while now. So that's about as much as my part-time reselling really wants to handle. But there are occasions where I have 10 items going out just because of the way things sell. And I haven't been consistent about listings, so that's definitely affected my sales. But I did also want to talk about my setup. So the reason that I started this channel was because, well, a couple of reasons. I kind of always toyed with the idea because a lot of the resellers that I see, the YouTuber resellers that I see, they fit into one or two camps. One is they describe themselves as full-time resellers, which I would say, well, if you're doing YouTube, you're also doing YouTube, so not full-time reselling. But the other camp is, I got a day job, I'm doing reselling on the side, and I want to quit that crappy day job and do this reselling full-time. I'm in that, it's sort of in that camp, and I thought I was going to be in that camp when I retire next year, at the end of next year, I thought, great, I'm going to do this full time when I retire. So in these last couple of years, I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how do I do this efficiently? What's the best way of doing inventory? What's the best way of doing my photos, listings, shipping, sourcing? Trying to make all these micro improvements in everything I do to the point where when I could do this full time, I'm kind of built for that. I've done a lot of the legwork on making this a very efficient operation. What I've come to figure out is there's also the camp that fully believes that as soon as they quit their crappy day job and start doing this full time, that this full-time reselling job will be awesome. And unfortunately, many of those same YouTubers will every so often put out a video about how crappy reselling is. So I definitely don't want to change in a crappy job to create a new crappy job for myself. I always want this to be fun. I focus on things I'm interested in. I take time off. We going to a football game tomorrow. I could be going to a big island-wide garage sale, annual garage sale. I'm going to a football game instead. So there's just, my focus has changed over this last few months where I've really started thinking about, okay, I am going to be retiring. What do I want to do? This is not my income. I have other income. I have other source of income. I have another side job as well. But my focus for this channel is to share my knowledge on, what I'm doing to improve my efficiencies, how I pack things, how I list things, how I sell things, how I follow up with buyers, everything that I do that I think will help someone else, I want to share that on this channel. And I'm still actually learning stuff too. It's not like I have all that knowledge and now I'm just going to pass it on. I'm still learning stuff. I watch as many YouTube videos as I can from other resellers because I'm always learning about items that I just had no clue that might be valuable. Where I recognize that my focus is different than a lot of the other YouTuber resellers that you see is I'm not trying to get to full-time. I'm not trying to create a living income. This is a side job meant to be fun. It supports, it allows me to do some things, but it's not meant to be a replacement for my existing job. So I realize there's a lot of people just are not going to want to be there, but I do see other YouTubers that, they specifically talk about how this is a retirement gig that's just fun for them and it gives them, benefits as well as far as income. So my encouragement is that you can, try different ways to keep the fun in doing this. Don't make this a very onerous thing. This is meant to be a good side hustle. I do it because I like it. It also does give me a chance to gives me some extra money. I enjoy the connections with people. I've gotten to know a lot of different resellers in my area, a lot of the estate sale companies. So that's been fun for me. So as I do all this, I'm recognizing, especially now that I'm getting into YouTube, is I have to pay attention to my equipment as well. I started this YouTube channel really on the inspiration of my kids. They really thought that it would be good because they hear me talk about a lot of this stuff. They hear other people ask. I'm constantly being asked by people, how do you do this? How does this work? And so they actually got me this camera that I'm talking into right now. It's a DJI Osmo Pocket 3 that I have it hooked up right now as a webcam, but sorry, I'm going to try to make my window bigger here. So So they got this for me, and I really struggled with doing this because I'm kind of a perfectionist. I didn't like how I sounded. I didn't like how they looked. I wasn't comfortable with video editing, and finally they just said, just start. It doesn't matter. You're gonna get better as you go. So, and I feel that way. And some of the comments to my videos have been great. So please keep that up. The other thing I recognize too is because I want to have better production value, I'm probably going to need to invest in equipment. I'm running this on, so I mentioned the DJI Osmo camera, which also acts as a webcam for me in this situation. I have a 2013 Apple Mac Pro trash can Mac. It's pretty much top of the line, and it's able to handle all the 1080p video I can throw at it. 4K is not gonna work for me. Even iMovie, like just a short video that I produced in iMovie, was going to take hours to export. So recognize I'm going to have to improve my hardware, software, and understanding and knowledge in order to improve my production value. So I'm trying a few different things. The delay over this last week, I haven't put any videos out, is I was making that transition from my older computer to this one. I had two different trash can Macs, but one was just a base model, and it was very difficult. This one's better, but I'm looking at new stuff, new gear, and what I can do to improve things. So this is fun. I'm really enjoying that part of it. So if you are enjoying this, please like, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm trying to build up my subscribers to hopefully within 12 months of me starting the channel, I'll be able to get to a monetization level. But I think I will be able to put out at least several videos a week, and trying to make sure I'm putting out videos with topics that are useful, knowledgeable, fun to hear, and that are enjoyable to at least provide enough information. So again, if you like this, please like it. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. This is the one thing I'm specifically asking. If you dislike the video for any reason, please don't dislike it. Don't hit the thumbs down if at all possible, but please comment what you disliked. That's really helpful feedback for me, things I can do. My goal is to obviously make the videos more reachable, and for whatever reason, it's easy to hit thumbs down, but that really knocks down the ability of the video to be seen. So I encourage you, if there's something you dislike, please just comment to me. And if you feel like, no, I'm going to dislike it if I dislike it, go ahead. But if you do that, please also comment to me what you disliked. Super helpful for me. And it can be something as simple as clean up that mess back there, or cover up this junk here. Those are all comments my wife has given me, by the way. So like I said, please do that if you can. It helps me, and please come back and join us next time.